I want you to know that abundance is your birthright, and what is stopping you from becoming a millionaire or even a billionaire is your mindset and the choices you make. The first thing is you want to assess why you think the way you think. Why do you think you cannot achieve becoming a millionaire in the next 1 year? Why do you think success is unattainable for you? Now, I want you to know that making money is mental and it is a mindset. Everything starts from inside out. You cannot give what you don't have. A scarcity mindset due to fear. Now, fear can be due to what you've experienced in the past with money. Perhaps you saw your parents having money and all of a sudden they didn't. I want you to come out of this with awareness of what is ruling your attitude towards money. Last week, I shared a video on my YouTube channel where I shared how you can get out of debt and have a good credit score to have a debt-free lifestyle. This week in this video podcast, I will be sharing with you how to grow a mindset that keeps you out of debt and poverty, identify the triggers that lead you into scarcity, and developing a mindset that will help you grow your wealth. Hi and welcome. I am Davinci. I am a wealth and mindset coach. I train people on the positive way to think about money, and I share resources to empower people to grow their wealth and achieve their financial freedom. So welcome. Now, in the popular words of Jim Rohn, success is not purposed, success is attracted. This podcast episode, we're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of what that means and how that looks like. In the midst of trying to understand how to grow a wealthy mindset, the first thing is to assess and to detect what causes a scarcity mindset. So I will be looking down my laptop today if you're watching me on YouTube. So don't be surprised or distracted if you see me looking down. I'm looking at my laptop. I have written down a couple of knowledge that I want to share with you. I want to make sure I pass across a couple of things and I do not miss out on anything. So I see you in advance so that you're not surprised. Now, in terms of building a wealth mindset, I always advise my clients that you start with awareness. You want to know what is causing you to have a scarcity mindset. The first thing is you want to assess why you think the way you think. Why do you think you cannot achieve becoming a millionaire in the next 1 year? Why do you think you cannot achieve becoming a billionaire in the next 5 years? Why do you think success is unattainable for you? Now, I want you to know that making money is mental and it is a mindset. Everything starts from inside out. You cannot give what you don't have. It is what you have that you eventually extend to people. Most people, in my previous video, myself and my husband, we mentioned that most people remain poor, and the reason why they remain poor is because of their state of mind, which also is a choice. You can decide to change your state of mind, which we'll be going into today. You can decide to remain poor, you can decide to become rich. Everything in life is a choice. Your life is a product of the choices you make. If you missed that video, do not forget to go check it out. Now, in regards to awareness, we want to start with assessing your mind and thinking, understanding why you think the way you do. There's something we call RAS, which is the reticular activating system. It unconsciously controls your life. It unconsciously takes what you see into your mind and becomes like on autopilot. I'm just going to share with you what that means. One evening, myself and my husband, we were planning to avoid a certain road because we noticed that there was traffic. So we were on our way to church and we noticed that there was traffic on a particular road. And I thought, okay, when we were coming back from our way from church, let us pass a particular route. And then on our way back home, we were having a conversation in the car, we were driving. And before you know it, we found ourselves in traffic. And we're like, oh my God, we missed the route we planned to take. So what happened in that moment was that the reticular activating system took place. We were subconsciously moving in a direction that we normally go in. We were not conscious. We were not walking in the conscious at that point. So our consciousness was in the conversation we were doing. Our subconscious was focused on the driving. So at that point, even myself and my husband did not even know that this is not the route we wanted to take until we realized, oh my God, we're in traffic. And that is the same thing with most people. The subconscious controls your life. It is when you bring the subconscious into a conscious state that you now realize, okay, I have been doing this the wrong way. Okay, I am poor because I don't know better. Okay, I am poor because this, or I think this way because of this, or because of an example I have seen in people. That is what we mean by shining light into your situation or accessing the way you think. questioning why you think the way you think. Bring the unconscious into the conscious. Ask yourself why you think the way you think. I'm going to repeat the same thing over and over again because these are things that I want to, make resonate with you, and I want you to make sure that you go back when you're done listening to this and you think about it. Now, we're going to be going through a few whys or hows. Why do you think the way you think? I will share with you some of the examples of what a scarcity mindset looks like and what a wealth mindset looks like. A few examples. In the one-on-one sessions I have with my clients, I go deeper details, and mostly in relation to the context of my clients. If my client shares with me what's going on their mind or what they've been experiencing with money and growing wealth in the past years, I would of course tailor the solutions based on their needs. Now today we're going to go into a few things. Now think about the way you think until you bring the unconscious conscious. It will direct your life, and you call it fate. This is something I heard from my mentor. I'm going to repeat that again. That's Sam Adeyemi. He says that think about the way you are thinking until you bring the unconscious conscious, or until you make the unconscious conscious. It will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You call it destiny. How about you become aware? Start with awareness. Why do I do what I do? Why do I think everything revolves around me? Why do I think everyone is achieving that, but I cannot achieve that? It is a state of mind that was learned, and you can unlearn it and relearn something new, which is what I want to challenge with you today. Growing or having a growth mindset starts with how you think. And then you start with pruning or asking and questioning, why do I actually see less of myself? Your conscious mind is what takes the driver's seat, which is the example I just shared with you today. I want you to come out of this with awareness of what is ruling your attitude towards money. There are some examples I have right now in front of me. Most people generally have a scarcity mindset due to fear. Now, fear can be due to what you've experienced in the past with money. Perhaps you saw your parents having money and all of a sudden they didn't. It can be also be due to past experiences as well, with yourself, with your family, with your friends, or what you see on social media. These days we see a lot of ins and outs of people's life, and we subconsciously make decisions. And your RAS is making decisions for you without knowing. So this is where you now sit down and do a reflection. Okay, why do I think money cannot work for me? Why do I think I would always earn a certain amount for the rest of my life? My parents, lived for this long and they earned this much, and I think this is the limit I'm going to also reach. Why do I think that way? Probe your thinking. So fear is a big factor. Past experiences is a big factor. One thing is, fear is one of the major reasons for scarcity mindset. So perhaps, what does scarcity mindset look like? You earning money, you not spending with abundance in mind, also because you are afraid that, one day you will not have money. So it all mostly boils down to fear. And then again, I mentioned past experiences. The next thing is lack of self-belief. You don't believe in yourself. And if you really evaluate, why don't you believe in yourself? It might be because of something someone said to you. It might be the words people spoke over you. It might also be because of your experiences in life, what you've seen, everything. One thing my mommy usually told me growing up is, there are two sources into your heart. There are two ways in which information comes into you: what you see and what you listen to. So the experiences you've had growing up could have also contributed to your lack of self-belief. You also talk negatively about yourself, and the more you speak all these negative words, you're unintentionally also causing you to have a little bit of scarcity mindset. You're unintentionally, without you knowing, bringing down your words as well. People also speak negative words to you, and you're also contributing to the negative words people speak to you. You should speak opposite of what people say in regards to negative words. You want to do the opposite of say, if people say, Bolanle or Oluwafisayo is XYZ in a negative way, you are not supposed to go back with the mindset and say, I agree with what they are saying. You are supposed to think opposite of that and say, no, I challenge that thought. This is who I am. As a Christian that I am, I say I am the light of the world. He that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. I also say I am the head, I am not the tail. I also say that I am a city set upon a hill that cannot be hidden. So that is also one of the benefits of having the word of God as a Christian, because it makes you realize who you are as a child of God, and you speak that word into yourself. Now, those are just a few things. Like I mentioned with my clients, I share deeper details. And if you ever want to know the fuller information of this, I have a link in the description. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please head over to YouTube to click on the link in the description to download some of the resources that will help you build a wealthy mindset, where I give detailed information on the triggers or the reasons why people have a scarcity mindset. Now, sometimes, like I mentioned, this is triggered by your past experiences and a lack of self-belief or a childhood trauma. Now, how does it affect your financial behavior? When you have a scarcity mindset, as I mentioned earlier, you begin to hoard money, you don't freely give. There's a reluctance to take risk. You know, instead of you to perhaps make the best of a particular investment opportunity, but because of your experiences or fear, you don't take that risk. Sometimes it leads to bad habits, overspending. Money is available and you're like, okay, let me enjoy it. A lot of people have this mindset on social media that we live just once, YOLO, and therefore you spend as you see, which is not the best abundance mindset to have, or it's not a wealth building mindset, right? So overspending is also an attribute of a scarcity mindset, or it's one of the results of having a scarcity mindset. And reluctance to grow. There might be opportunities presenting itself, but you don't even see yourself in that new phase of life because you're still stuck. You're still stuck in your scarcity mindset. You're still stuck in who you think you are, right? How does it show itself? There might be promotion offers coming in your place of work, but you don't think you are what's being promoted. And guess what? You don't even go to tell your manager, oh, I think I would love to take this opportunity on, because you have a scarcity mindset, because you don't believe in yourself. Remember, I mentioned that one of the characteristics of scarcity mindset is lack of self-belief. I'm just going to share with you some of the triggers I also noticed for myself when I was doing self-reflection. Triggers to scarcity. And this is something that when I realized this, remember, the unconscious became conscious, and they're able to say, okay, I realize that this is what I'm doing unconsciously, and then what steps can I take to move away from this scarcity mindset to this abundant mindset. And after this, the next step, which I will be sharing with you soon, is what will show you how to move from scarcity to abundance. Now, in terms of scarcity, I realized that I was always hoping for money to come. I never planned. There is this thing that some Christians do. I won't say all, but some Christians are always open. Oh, this money will come. In the name of Jesus, this money will come. But we don't take steps. We don't plan, and you expect money to grow on trees. No, money don't grow on trees. You take steps. You put in value. Money is an exchange of value. When you do a work, you expect that money will be given to you to reward the work you've done. So one thing was, I was growing with this mindset that, oh, I hope money will come, or I hope someone will just say, take this money somewhere. No, it doesn't work that way. Most times, anyways. I know you do hear some testimonies of how some people got handed over money from somebody else's wealth, but generally the principles of wealth do not work that way. The next thing is spending the money before it comes. So I grew up in a situation where before the money is around, you're like, oh, I'm going to pay for this plumber, I'm going to pay for that electrician. And guess what? When the money comes, what happens? Money finishes. So there's no plan put in place. It goes back to the same first point. And then there's this blame mindset. You're always blaming someone for the reason why you don't have money. Oh, you're blaming this person. Oh, that my uncle did not give me money. That's why I don't have money. That is part of the ways you would realize, oh, you're working in a lack mindset, in a scarcity mindset, not abundance, not growth. We want to move from scarcity and lack to growth, to abundance, and to wealth. Then you realize, when I realized for me, is I also did not have much savings. I did have some savings, but it wasn't enough. Planning for investments, but not investing. I was like, oh, I'm going to plan for this, I'm going to plan for that, or I'm going to plan to do this, I'm going to plan to do that, but I hardly ever did that. So not taking action, that would be the word. I hardly took action on some of the plans that I wanted to do. Also, if you were to say why am I not taking action, it could also go back to lack of self-belief. Number 3 or number 4, if you're counting, fear of looking at the bank account. So I would realize that, okay, I know I've spent a couple of amount of money today. I've spent perhaps $100 today or $500 today, and I know that before I spend that $500, I probably just had $600, or I probably just had $1,000. So knowing that, oh, perhaps I have this budget in mind and I've overspent. So you would have this fear of, oh, I don't want to see how much I have in my bank account. So I was also recognized that, okay, this is me operating from a space of scarcity. If I am operating from a space of abundance, I wouldn't be afraid. I would boldly go into my bank account and I would say, yes, I know what I'm doing here. I know the plan that I have for this. I have the money growing. All of my being afraid to check the bank account goes back to, a scarcity mindset. So fear of even doing the budget sometimes, because you want to say, I know I've overspent this month. So that's knowing of perhaps you've overspent makes you, I would say, is a way of calling yourself out that, I know that when I do look at the real picture, it's going to be a wake-up call. So that avoidance of wake-up call is also another attribute for me that triggers what I would say was a reflection of scarcity as well. Fear of taking account of how much I have spent. Same thing. Now, I have done a bit of this assignment in the past, and I have also beared fruit of coming out of the fearful scarcity mindset into the abundance mindset, which is why I'm able to also share this knowledge with you. Now, I want you to also, as you're listening, perhaps take this note down. I want you to write down what you think about money. Number one, what did your parent teach you about money? The reason why we're doing this is to bring the unconscious into the subconscious. Sorry, what am I saying? To bring the subconscious into the conscious so that you are aware of why you're doing what you're doing. Think about why you're thinking the way you're thinking. Now, decide that if this particular way I'm thinking is not good for me, decide to make change. Decide how you want to see money. If you see money as the beginning and the end of life, you want to change that mindset, which is also what I'm going to be sharing as well today. Now, shift your thinking, conceptualize yourself as a wealthy person, and believe that you are rich, and defeat the pictures of poverty. You are not poor, you are only a reflection of your environment. To change your environment, you need the following. Now, I go into deeper details on this particular topic on the environment with my clients as well whenever we're speaking on mindset. So I'm just going to rush through this with you now. Number one, to change your environment, you want to be mindful of the people you listen to. Who do you surround yourself with? Do you surround yourself with people that are wealthy or people that are full of lack? My advice to you is to distance yourself from people who want to stay broke. It's a different thing if somebody is broke, but they are aspiring to be great. But if they want to stay broke, how about you reassess? Do you want to stay broke too? If you don't want to stay broke, excuse yourself from the group chat. Go to the group chat where there are wealthy people, which is important. This is what has made a lot of wealthy people today. This simple fact of people. People is a major aspect to growing your wealth. Because when you're around people that are wealthy, their consciousness also rubs up on you. Today we have been speaking of consciousness and the subconscious. When you're around the people that are wealthy, I bear testimonies. Most of the reason that I am very growth-minded today is also because of the environment I grew up in Nigeria. Kudos to Daystar and Samadi Emi and a couple of other books I have read, which takes me to my next point. You want to read good books. Books in regards to where you see yourself. If you see yourself as the next Elon Musk, how about if Elon Musk has books to sell, you go buy those books. If you see yourself as the next billionaire in your nation, who is the billionaire in your nation right now? Read books. You're not going to be reinventing the wheel. You want to go and study from those who have gone ahead of you, right? So surround yourself with the people that reflect where you want to be. Read books and go to places that present growth opportunities. Let go of every victim mentality. Be careful what you consume. Do not consume everything about money that you see online, because it can either contribute to your abundance or scarcity mindset. Because again, go back to your triggers. What is making you think the way you think? It could be something you watch on YouTube, and then before you know it, you started becoming very selfish with money. You began to hoard money, you began to overspend because of a video you watched on YouTube. So be careful of what you consume as well. And when we go back to the topic of people, the people that you surround yourself with can even speak life into you. And they could see things in yourself that you don't even see yet in yourself. And that's why you want to surround yourself with good friends and mentors that would call out the wealth inside of you, that would basically speak life into you and see in you what you don't yet see in yourself. Sometimes your problem that you have is your inability to see the value that you have. And I share again in deeper sessions with my students one-on-one. Before we go into the next step, I would advise you to take a look at the link in the description to download a couple of freebies. So one freebie I have, again, I had a video last week where I shared how to live a debt-free life. So I share a debt-free planner that is a PDF and also an Excel sheet that shares with you how you can work your way out of debt if you're currently in debt. I also have a wealth planner to help you strategize your way into your wealthy future that you aspire to have. I would advise you to subscribe to my newsletter to get other freebies if you're looking to get freebies from me. If you want to have access to all of the things that I have for sale, feel free to head over to www.davinci.com/shop. All of the products I have are all shared there. Lastly, feel free to book a one-on-one session with me where I will be able to address your personal needs and your personal financial goals. Which takes me to my next point. Set goals, have a vision. The word of God says, write down your vision, make it plain so that he who sees it will run. And this is true till today. It plays a significant role in what you're doing in your life. If you have a vision, it will show in how you move. If you lack vision, it will show you how you move. So if you want to differentiate someone that's going somewhere from someone that's not going anywhere, ask them for their next 1 year goal. Ask them for their future vision, what they aspire to have. Because guess what? When you have a goal, it pushes you. Start with your goal. Decide to be rich. Being rich is a choice, and being poor is a choice. It's going back to the statement I made at the beginning of this podcast as well. Define what that rich life looks like for you, that wealthy vision looks like for you. Decide what it is first, and the how will come as time goes. Decide what the vision is first, and the how will come as time goes. And the reason for focusing on the what and not the how is so that you can start taking the step. Focus on the what and not the how. When you take the step towards the what, the how becomes clearer. Don't focus on what you don't have, focus on what you have. Don't be the person that's always complaining, oh, I want to do this, but I don't have the money for this. Oh, I want to do this, but I don't have. But guess what? When you want to do something, ideas come. I'm just going to share a quick example with you. Going back to even this content creation, if you know my journey, you would know that I was once a travel blogger as well. And then I started growing in wealth, and all of a sudden the desire to share, the way I am anyways, is that anytime I am growing in a particular area, I always want to share that knowledge with people. I want people to be able to be impacted. I have this passion for impact. I want to be able to make impact in people's life and to see them grow. Now, I know what the vision is, to help people grow financially and to help them achieve their wealthy future and financial freedom. However, when it came to content creation in regards to helping people in this regard, I was clueless. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to start? What videos am I going to create? I was almost crippled with doubt. And this was me focusing on the how. And what did I do? I prayed. I said, Holy Spirit, take control. You put this desire in my heart. I need clarity. I need your grace. And then when I put pen to paper, ideas began to flow. I would write the first line, and before you know it, I'm thinking of extra lines. I would just start writing very fast so that I don't forget all the ideas that are coming to mind. And that is how it works. Ideas don't come fully formed. You take the first step and you see the next step. The next step becomes clearer. If you're climbing a hill, you can't see the end of the hill until you take the first, second, third, fourth, fifth step. You have to first take the first step, and then the second step, third step, everything becomes clearer. So focus on the what, focus on the vision, and then the how becomes clearer. Most times in my past, I have also experienced where there was a time I wanted to do a community development project, and I started reading a book by my mentor, someone DMA, that says, start with what you have. And I had the vision of what I wanted to do for the community development. Now, in terms of the financial part, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I took steps anyway. What I had, I used it. The minimum resources I had with me at that time, I used it to. And then my parents saw that, oh, this lady is passionate about what she's doing. We're going to invest a bit. And guess what? Resources flowed. Most times resources flow in the direction of your vision. But if you don't have a vision and you take no step, there will be no resources flowing. So my encouragement to you today is to write down that goal, visualize it, experience it, feel it. If the goal for you is in the next 1 year, you want to be able to travel 2 times in a year to different countries, or the goal for you is to be able to be a millionaire or be a billionaire in the next 2 years, what does a millionaire lifestyle look like in a, I would say in a conservative way? I say in a conservative way because in the previous podcast episode, my husband, we mentioned that there's a difference between being a rich person and a wealthy person. So what does a millionaire wealthy person lifestyle look like? If you want to know the difference between those two people, go and watch that video and then you get more context. So that's one. Two, choose gratitude. There are many things that are working in front of you, but you decide to focus on what is not working. That's why you can't even see a way forward. So it starts with choosing gratitude and also starting with these little things that you have. Going back to mindset, there's sometimes that knowing who you are, understanding how you see yourself also contributes to how you carry yourself. There was a time where Trump, for example, had debt, a serious amount of debt. People thought he was owing banks in millions. He was actually owing banks in billions. But did he see himself any less? He still carried himself like the wealthy person that he is. I am saying this to buttress the point that it is what you focus on that would control your life. If you focus on the fact that, you're owing and you don't focus on solutions, that debt will never allow you to think about the way forward. That debt will continue to cripple you. And that is how you think about your life. I am a debtor. I am this. What you define yourself will eventually become a reality for you, which is where the next word is. Now you've seen the vision, call it forth. What do you want to see in your life? Do you want to be the number one wealthy person in your country? Call it forth, speak life. You can write it down. You can print out a picture, put it on the wall. Let that vision speak to you and remind you of who you are every day. So the encouragement is use your words wisely. You are what you call yourself. What you call yourself matters. You become what you call yourself. So choose life. Choose words that will bring life to you, that would encourage you. And when you see people doing great things, celebrate with them. Celebrate with them even though you haven't gotten there yet. Because guess what? You will be next. But if you're not happy with people, you're basically... you're not even going to be able to draw knowledge from them. Because guess what? They know something that you don't know. That's why they are where they are. But you are angry with them and you don't even have joy in your heart for them. Then you wouldn't even have the mind to go back and say, how did you do this? And then you can draw knowledge and grow. So celebrate others and be open to asking for advice from people as well. Now, this particular next point, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I want to make a separate video on it. This basically says redefine how you see money. I want to challenge you today to know that money is not the beginning and end. Money is not the major resource itself. Money is just an exchange of value. Meaning, if you have a resource that I need, you give me the resource and I give you money as an exchange of value or as a reward. So the major point you want to focus on today is how do I get that exchange of value? It means I must give value and get something back. So what value do you want to give? I'm just going to read out what I have here today. Instead of focusing on money, focus on providing value to others that will attract money to you. Make yourself attractive. Money is an exchange of value and time is money. Time is a resource. The major thing you're exchanging now, when someone says, I need you to be a carpenter, so you're exchanging your skills, you're also exchanging your time. So when you go and apply the wood, when you go and all the other things that goes into carpentry, you're putting in your skills, you're also putting in your time, and then I give you money in return. So I'm challenging your thoughts today to think through these things. Money is an exchange of value. Time is money. How you use your time will determine how wealthy you are. If you ask me, I believe true wealth is time and freedom. And time is a convertible resource. The you that you become becomes magnetic to the ideas that will produce the value so that you can be paid well for it. So if you, at this point, you are perhaps a BSc holder and there's a particular amount they pay BSc holders. In a month, BSc holders in economics earn $2,000 in a month. And your goal, because we already said you need to visualize where you want to be, your goal is to achieve $10,000 in a month. Then your thinking then will be, how can I make myself attractive to increase my value to be able to earn $10,000 in a month? And ideas will start coming. You will start thinking of the conferences to attend. You will start thinking of the skills you need to add to your set of skills already so that you can improve and make yourself attractive. So that's why I wrote this. I'm just going to say it again. The you that you become becomes magnetic to the ideas that will produce value so that you can be well paid for it. So you have to first become. And that increases your attractiveness. And when you become more attractive, your value goes up. And when your value goes up, you get the extra money that you're looking for. And this goes back to our first key point today by Jim Rohn, which says success is not purpose, it is attracted by the person you become. Again, success is not purpose, it is attracted by the person you become. The next point is take action. Dump all the excuses. I have given you examples of people who could have given excuses for the situations in their life. An example is Trump. I have given you examples of how when you are in a particular state of mind that automatically runs your subconscious, you don't even know why you're even giving the excuses that you do. You just automatically realize that you are stagnated and in the same position. So if you do not want to remain in the same position, if you want to move from the scarcity mindset to a wealth mindset, all of the information you've shared or I have shared with you today should not just be consumed, but should be practiced daily. I would even encourage you to develop a growth plan. I have a growth plan myself, which I have broken down into daily steps in areas I want to see myself grow. I also have developed this growth plan to help others. So if you want to download the growth plan, click the link in the description as well to download the growth plan to help you think through the ideas that will help you grow. So take action. It will be totally irrelevant that you watch this video if you took no action. All right? So dump all the excuses, take action, act as if the obstacles do not exist. It is what you focus on that your mind will magnify. If you focus on solution, your mind will magnify solutions. So jump and you will develop wings on the way. Remember that ideas do not come fully formed. This is when you take step A, that step B becomes clearer. Think about that. So in summary, break the fear, break the doubt, change your mindset by controlling the people you surround yourself with, the books you read, create a wealth plan for yourself, and take action. Take action. That is the summary. If you don't take anything today, take action. I'm sure you must have seen other videos in regards to this topic, but perhaps the reason why you are where you are and Elon Musk is where he is because you haven't taken the action that he has taken. Of course, that's truly the reason. There's a desire that is pushing him to achieve all that is achieving and is taking action in that direction. So what is that desire that you have? What goal do you have? What have you visualized for yourself? Once you have that visual or you have that vision, the next thing is to make a plan and take action, which is why I said that if you want to download the wealth plan, click the link in the description to download the wealth planner as well. So I'm just going to end with this quote by yours truly. You are in a constant state of becoming depending on the information that you take in. The question is, what information are you taking in today? If you like this video, please do not forget to share it with your friends. Don't all do this. Share it. Share with your friends. Let them also grow the way you're growing. Like this video. That's one of the ways to support this channel so that other people can also see it online. And subscribe for more videos like this. Again, I'm going to be sharing videos to help you build your wealth mindset and to help you grow into achieving your financial freedom that you have proposed for yourself. And I would advise you to look out for the next podcast episode, which is going to be part 2 of this, focusing a bit on how you see money and how to change the way money works for you. Basically focus on how you see money essentially. Now next week is not the next episode. Next week is a video focused on building financial security and building your savings. So stay tuned for that. Now, last week I shared a video to help people plan their debt-free life and achieve a really good credit score based on my experience here in North America. If you want to watch that video, click on this video right here and enjoy the video. Don't forget to stay awesome, stay inspired. Peace.